preparing. You should get a notification on your phone.
I put my phone away. Fuck.
All right, it's starting.
Great.
Redirecting to YouTube. And we are live. Oh shit, we were live a second ago. It takes a minute.
I didn't get a notification, but okay.
You will in a couple seconds. I need to trim this first part out. So, yes, let's start.
Do it.
All right. Welcome to Living by Oak Values, a raw and real podcast. Actually, it is a video cast where we explore what it means to live by values. I am Rob, and I host this podcast with my friend Gary, the superior mailman. We will guide you through aligning your actions with your core beliefs. We are excited to share stories, insights, and values that guide us through our lives. Whether you're a longtime listener or new here, welcome. Visit us at northmancoaching.com for your free toolbox and updates. Let's dive in. Happy listening. All right. First off, today is about patience. Gary, tell everybody why we chose patience.
Because it's next on the list. No, we chose patience because, well, I think patience was perfect because we've been working so hard on everything we're doing with Northman Coaching, the podcast and everything else. And we're looking for growth, and we've been growing slowly, but I've been becoming impatient with the amount of growth. So checking my patience and reliving or understanding what patience is helpful to me right now. So I think it's helpful to us. So patience is the value we are doing today.
So tell us about what has been causing you not to be patient lately.
I feel with the amount of work that we have put into this, that I thought it would blow up. Just like we'd have 1,000 followers, we'd have more clients than we could handle. But it's trickling in slowly, and I think that's good. I know that's good because we couldn't handle an explosion right now.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's with the amount of work, I feel like patience is required. And sometimes I become impatient and I have to talk to you for you to talk me off the ledge to just relax. So I want to tell you a quick story about patience that I was reading today about Chinese bamboo. So when you plant Chinese bamboo, it takes 5 years for it to sprout out of the ground. You have to take care of it constantly for 5 years, water it, make sure the soil's good. And then after 5 years, it'll finally break out of the ground and it will grow 90 feet in 6 weeks. But if it didn't have patience and it popped out of the ground after 6 weeks, it would be gone with the first windstorm. So kind of like us, we need to be patient and get our roots in before we can get big.
So it's funny, it takes 5 years, but once it grows, that stuff grows everywhere.
Oh, you can't get rid of it.
Bamboo. We have bamboo down here. It grows everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, it's worse than anything.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad. I know apple trees are like that too, though. They take many years to produce fruit.
Right.
So.
Yes. But at least you get a tree versus nothing. If I planted something in the ground, I don't have the patience to grow bamboo.
Gotcha.
I couldn't sit there and look at the empty ground for 5 years and keep watering it. People would think I'm crazy. And then when it sprouted, they would know I'm crazy.
So you do need to get your phone out and watch it while we're doing it, because that way you can interact with the live chat.
Gotcha.
And so while he's doing that, our theme for today is why patience is one of those most underrated, powerful values that you need to use in a relationship. Make sure you put yourself on mute.
Yep.
Okay. If you turn it sideways, it'll have the chat off to the side.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm very computer literate.
it's okay. I do it all the time. So when somebody says something like Krantz is going, "What's up?" You say, "What's up back?"
I'm just gonna talk to him. What's up, Kratz?
It's
So
cool to say.
I messaged him today actually, and
Mm-hmm.
he lives in the same town that I lived in when I was in New Orleans.
Really?
Yep.
Gotcha. Pretty
Of course, that
cool.
was many moons ago, like 25 years ago. I
Mm, yep.
don't know where the hell time went, but
I'm gonna have to figure out how to reply. I can't do it on my phone. The keyboard is too small. It freaks me. I'm too old. So, going back to why we choose patience, because it's so valuable in a relationship. Um, what is there's a quote that sometimes the strongest is the love that waits. I don't know where we got it from, but we got it and it was like, wow, that's actually very powerful.
yes,
So, and you said you had a story about how you had a romantic relationship and waiting made it better.
yes. So
Patience.
I can go into that. So prior to the relationship that I'm in now, and my previous, I was always very impatient. I wanted that person in my life right now. I wanted them in my life all the time. And I didn't give the patience I needed for the relationship to grow. And it went from 0 to 60 very fast. And then once we hit 60 miles an hour or 100, it died off very fast as well. And
Mm,
one of those relationships was my marriage. I was never really patient, and neither was she. But now my last girlfriend and my last relationship, I was very patient. When something went wrong or even right, I wanted to feel the feelings. I wanted to really understand what was going on before I made a response to anything. And sometimes if we got into a fight, it would take me a whole day to just sit, meditate, and think and understand what was going on. And I think that helped us grow. Of course, it ended eventually. And now with the woman I'm with now, she is patient. I am patient, and together, we are growing very well, I believe.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, patience in a relationship is something new to me too. I was always the person who had to be right, or if something didn't go my way, I was very impatient, very, what do and so learning the second go round with a girlfriend, I'm learning that she'll tell herself stories upon stories upon stories. And sometimes I'm not there to fix her story. I'm just there to be patient, listen, and let it get it out of her system so that she can move on to the next drama that comes her way, kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, it's not our job to fix it, also.
Yeah, it isn't. But I didn't have that before. And so learning that I have to constantly remind myself, just calm down, be patient. She's just telling herself a story. I can't control that story. So,
Hmm. So, why do you think patience is so hard or so underrated?
because I think a lot of people associate it with you're just being passive
Okay.
or you're not um you're not strong because you're not doing anything about it. They think it's just a waiting game or you're just blowing him off, in other words.
Sure. Okay.
That would be my first couple things.
I
Because
did. I was doing some,
that's what I thought. So go ahead.
okay. I was doing some thinking today, and I feel like in this world now, with uh, everyone looking for instant gratification, that it's hard to be patient
Mm,
because patience often feels like failure or not, or being stagnant almost. Where if
mm,
I don't get results, like I was talking earlier with the podcast and the coaching thing, like if I don't get results right now, then I'm failing. or I could do more, but I need to let the roots grow. So I think that,
Yeah.
so, and along with failure, I feel it's our ego that is telling us that we're failing.
Ego. It could pride. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
But
go ahead. Sorry, what's up?
it could be that we grew up in this like instant meal microwave generation.
We did, for sure.
I don't know what you would call the new generation.
I don't know either. Young.
Well, I mean, because they got cell phone, instant access, chat,
Yeah.
Google, everything is instant, and it's almost too instant that it's more than just being a microwave generation where you want it instant meal, instant popcorn, but what do you do beyond that?
Instant water. Just add water.
Yeah, instant water. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, all right. You did you get Krantz said, totally agree. Patience is hard because if you don't get results quick enough, you feel like it's not working.
Yep.
Yes.
So, and
Yeah.
he's definitely a younger generation. He had his birthday
Yeah.
yesterday. So he's, I think he said he was 28 or something. So he's a lot younger than us.
Yeah.
But back to ego. I feel like I learned in my class the other day with Craig that ego is the villain of your story,
How was that?
because ego hates risk. It wants to go all in now or quit. So by letting this grow, my ego is like, come on, man, let's find another adventure. So for instance, so I used to be the chef.
Yeah.
And the restaurant that I was running down in New Orleans, it failed. Once I got married, I got into management, but I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be quick enough. So I quit. Then I started brewing beer. But with brewing beer, there was a lot of science behind it, a lot of cleaning behind it. And some of my equipment got dirty or moldy, and I gave up. I quit. Instead of trying to be better and letting myself learn how to do it properly, I quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm the mailman, not quitting that yet. and this I'm not quitting. This is my true passion, my true calling, and I'm going to let it grow. So I'm not going to let ego be the villain of this story.
So do you think if you were patient enough that you would keep in the old job being
who knows,
micro brewer?
Who knows? It's the past. And
I
try not to look back and wonder what would happen if I stuck it out in the restaurants or if I stuck it out brewing beer, because that's the past. And to wonder or say, what if, that's living or trying to live in a dream that has already ended.
Yes.
So let's focus on the present, focus on this dream, focus on moving forward. And I mean, honestly, right now with food, yeah, I fed people. Brewing beer, I got people drunk. With this, I am truly helping people, and that is what I love.
So for me, I have to stop myself and say, Robert, be patient with them. They're just telling themselves a story. Or if I'm interacting even with you, sometimes I have to stop myself and say, stop, be patient with him. Be patient with him. He's got ants in his pants. Be patient with him.
I do.
I hear my daughter sitting there listening to Fraggle Rock, and all I can think of is, man, that was a good childhood show. But I just have to sit there. What is something that you would recommend to listeners? Like, how would you get into the mindset to practice patience?
Well, for me, I meditate and I do a lot of grounding. Sorry, I just got a text. I'm trying to talk to you, read my notes, read the screen from the listeners. And yes, thanks, Dad. I know you're watching. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
Mr.
Um,
Holtz, how are you doing? Hope to see you soon.
go to his house. He's there. Well, he's not there right now. Never mind. I lied. He's not there. Um,
You just told everybody you can't do that.
no one knows where he lives. Okay. So anyway, how do I do that? Or how would I suggest to clients or listeners? It would be to, if you can manage to meditate, I would meditate.
Hmm.
Or I know when I first started meditating, it was very difficult, and I struggled. I remember sitting there, come on, meditate, meditate, yelling at myself. I'm like, this isn't working.
Mm.
But once I figured it out, it's so easy to get there, and it allows me to almost step outside of my body and look at what's going on and look at the what's going on around me. So I would suggest meditating, I guess, and just
Okay.
feeling everything and exploring what it would look like to allow things to take their time and grow.
Yeah. Um, I always like to drive my Model T, the old car,
Hmm.
because it puts me in a place of peace or it slows down time for me. Um, but I would like to ask people if they want to in the chat. Think of a time that you were impatient in a relationship, and what was the feeling? Was it fear or frustration or unmet expectations? Because those are really what cause you not to be patient with people.
Absolutely.
Usually with me, it's frustration. I get frustrated with people, I become impatient. It is very common when I get like very angry or very like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I'll get I'll start becoming more impatient. And that's when I have to stop and say, that's just their story.
Yep. I think for me, it's fear and frustration, and it's it's all three, honestly, because I
Mm,
used to set a lot of expectations.
yeah.
Even up to recently with this whole with the coaching thing, like I expected we got our certificates that
Hmm.
we would be I wouldn't be a mailman anymore by now, that I would be coaching full time. Uh,
Hmm.
we would just be like making it rain with money all day long because we would be rich. No, it's not that.
Actually, I think you told me you wanted to be like retired in the beach,
On the beach,
sitting
not
on
in
the
it,
beach,
on it.
on the beach. Yeah, I know. I remember. Big
Yep.
dreams. But yeah.
So, yep. I just want two palm trees, a hammock, a computer for coaching, and a bottle of rum and a surfboard. That's it. That's all I need.
Mm, yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yes, but I used to set expectations all the time,
Yeah.
and when they didn't get met, I got frustrated. So
Hmm.
it was like, to put you into it, it would be fear of you not getting the job done to my expectations, and then I would get impatient and do the job myself.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me post this question in the chat. Let's see if this works.
Nothing from the listeners yet. What's going on?
Well, let me post a question in the chat, see if I can get it to work that way. That way maybe listeners will answer the question. Oh, it worked. That was easy.
There we go.
We're gonna have to do that more often. Sweet. All right. So learning patience took a lot of
Mm-hmm.
practice. It still takes a lot of practice, day in and day out. And the one book that I read, and I'm looking at it because I want to get the by Don Miguel
Miguel.
Ru Miguel is called The Four Agreements, and it's one of my favorite books. It's one I go to constantly. And part of that was people tell their own story, and you're like the secondary character in their story, and they're the secondary character in your story. To try to interject yourself into their story is very selfish almost. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a pretty cool analogy. And I was like, ah, yes. And so be careful with what you say because even the littlest, like you being frustrated, and I think the example in the book was a mother was frustrated. She came home and the daughter was singing. The mother couldn't tolerate any noise. and she yelled, "You got to stop singing. You have a horrible voice." And the book goes to describe that the girl turned up and refused to sing for her whole entire life.
Yeah.
And it was because of that one action, that one thing, because the mother was frustrated and wasn't patient. She calls that daughter to grow up not to be a singer,
Yeah.
even though she might have had a beautiful voice.
And
Yeah.
that goes along with the be impeccable with your word. That part of the book, right?
Yes.
Because you think
Yep.
even with kids
Be
these days
impeccable.
with bullying, you know, you're ugly or you're stupid. Next thing you know, you're growing up
Hmm.
believing that you were ugly and you were stupid. Just
Yeah.
because some kid your age told you that, for some reason, it sticks.
Mine was being
Okay.
fat. I was always told, "Oh, you're fat. You're fat." And after a while, you look down upon yourself because you are fat. Yeah.
Yeah. I was always told that I was good looking and smart, and it stuck, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Impeccable with your words means you don't lie either.
Right, right.
So be
Oh,
careful.
it's my own truth. It's my story. I made it up.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
the book that I go to for patients is Art of War, um,
Oh, really?
by Sun Tzu. I can't say his name. I don't know, but it really it talks about the part of the book talks about um, engaging in conflict and to instead of just jumping in to weigh your options to see what your opponent or enemy is doing so that you don't just go all in when they've got something going on the side. You want to be able to see the whole picture before you make a move.
Mm. It's been a long time since I read that book. I'll have to pick it back up. Actually, it's in my
I can bring you
other
with me on our trip.
box. I don't have that much time on the trip. That's a big book if I recall. So, um, the other thing we have is we talked about the technique of breathing, taking a second for you to gather your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But early on, right after my divorce, a lot of the guys were like, the best thing you can do is journal to get the crazy monkey brain, everything out of your head. And by journaling, it takes it from your head, puts it on a piece of paper so that your head can be more free.
Yeah.
And so I journaled like crazy when I first got divorced because it was just like I couldn't deal with one expectation. I wasn't patient. I wanted it fixed. I wanted it fixed now. And I just wasn't getting the answers or anything I wanted. And so it was not easy.
Yeah.
So I do
So
recommend if journaling.
on the note of journaling, I did one of my videos the other day for the Superior Mailman was thank you
Hmm.
notes.
Mm.
And I used to journal every day in the morning. I would sit down with my coffee and I would journal. And I still do sometimes, but it's really those are my I guess I would call them plans for the day. Like I'm gonna do this today, so that I have a list so I can be successful.
Mm.
But at night now I write thank you notes, and it's
Mm.
really to the universe, whoever, and I thank them for the great day that I had. I thank them the universe for allowing me to be where I'm at and the
Mm.
opportunities that I have these days.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
I had something else on journaling too, but I can't remember what the hell it was. So whatever.
yeah, you were supposed to do the next bullet point though.
Oh, well, I will actually, but back to the journaling or
Ah,
when this
yes.
first started for you and for me as well. I remember when I had my first coach and I tried to rush the process of becoming the
Mm.
man I want to be. And I remember talking to my now ex-wife, spewing out some lines to make her think that I had changed. I was
Mm.
rushing the process to become the man I want to be, and it didn't really work out that way. So thankfully,
Yeah. Yeah, rushing the process doesn't work. And after a while, it's just one small step at a time. And
Yeah.
then sooner or later, you're tilting around and you'll see like all the footsteps in the sand where you've been. And you'll be like, holy cow, I went the wrong way. But
Yep.
yeah, it definitely
I
is.
mean, both of us,
Small steps.
we have come so
Yeah.
far. So, but the next bullet point was you were talking about the examples of romantic partners and parenting.
Hmm.
Is that where we're at?
No,
No, where the hell are we?
we're at takeaways and tools,
Oh, I missed
breathing,
that whole.
journaling. Yeah, we
I was
kind
just
of,
yapping away.
it's okay. That's what this is for. That's what this is
Yes.
for.
Yes, sir. So where am I at? Help me out. Tell me where I'm
Motivated Man group that we host on Thursday at 7 Eastern Time. Because talking to other men is a very good way of getting it off your chest.
Yes.
And by getting it off your chest, you get more patience for other people. It
Yes.
really does help.
And the reason why
And
we said that, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Now I figured out where we are. So I can know what's going on. The reason why we say that is to talk to us about it or other men, not your friends and family or girlfriend, is because your friends will sugarcoat things. Actually, and I just heard this today. I got to think of what it was, but yeah. So if you would tell a friend that that this is wrong, and you're gonna get sympathy. Oh, that's okay. You'll be okay. Keep your head up. But if I talk to you about it, and you are my friend, but you are definitely more than a friend, and if I go to you or any of the other guys in the group, they will give it to me real. Like if something is wrong, they'll tell me if I'm in the wrong, even if it hurts my feelings, because that's what I need right now.
Yep.
Versus a friend will just, on that note, what I heard today was, and we say it a lot. Crap, I lost it again.
That's what you hear a lot. Yeah, I think I say that a lot too, actually. I
Imposter
do say
syndrome.
that.
Imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes. We say that a lot.
Yes. And that is just a sugar-coated word or phrase, whatever you want to call it, for not believing in yourself.
Could be.
If
Yeah,
you say that
I
you
can
don't
see that.
believe in yourself, then I will give you all the reasons to believe in yourself. If you tell me you have imposter syndrome, I'll say, yeah, I've been there too. That does suck. Yeah, I know what that's like. Make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. If not, well, whatever. Moving on.
Well, before we go and move on to like the next tool bit, if anyone out there wants to join the men's group, log on to northmancoaching.com, go to our events page. Every Thursday
7 p.m. Eastern.
it's 7 p.m. We have a Zoom meeting with men actually around the world.
Yep.
So log on, tell us what's going on, and we're here to listen. The next one, long walks and meditation.
Yeah.
I know you do that a lot. So
You do the
I
long
do a lot
walks.
of
I do the
walking.
meditation.
Yeah.
I do the
I
long walk
told
while I'm working.
Yes, yes. Having patience with yourself is one thing that I have to do. When I'm losing weight, I constantly get frustrated. I know you hear me complain all the time, like, I gained 3 or 4 pounds. My daughter was here and I went out and ate pizza and gained weight. Patience with yourself is very important. It keeps you from beating yourself up into anxiety and despair.
I agree. I mean, but we have displayed nothing but patience with ourselves this whole journey that we've been on. But it's important for the listeners to know that. Like, you can't just.
No, we've been
What?
anxiety and despair. You were anxiety right before we started this thing. You were like, "Oh my gosh, Robert, we're about to go live."
That was not anxiety. That was excitement.
Yeah, sure it
I
was.
my mother reminded me of a book that I read, and I flipped the script from nervousness to excitement. What is the difference?
That's another, yeah. Tell them.
What's the difference? I mean, they both feel the same. Your heart rate's increased. You're probably breaking a little sweat. Same thing, different name.
Mm. That is a good way, is trying to label your emotions. And if you want to know how
Absolutely.
to do that, reach out to us. We can help you with that. Um, do you want to do the question we got from
Sure.
the
Yeah.
client?
Yeah. So we have a question from a client, and it was, how do I know when I'm being patient versus being taken advantage of? What do you got for that one, Rob? Do you have an answer for him, or would you like me to answer that?
So the biggest thing is when you're patient, you have a goal for being patient. It's
Mhm.
not just waiting, like passively waiting. Oh, look, Miss Paula Holtz. Who could that be?
Ah,
Thank you for the heart. We appreciate it. Let's see if I can send a heart back to her.
I'm glad you're doing it. I can't type back. In fact, I'm looking at my phone and the computer, and there's a lag because I'm moving on my phone, but not in real life.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the conversation of how do we know we are being patient versus being taken advantage of?
Hmm.
And that's hard. I mean, yeah, patient has a goal, but sometimes your goal, people use it and they do take advantage of you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think it's hard
Mm.
if you're looking for things. So if I'm being patient with somebody and the relationship is
Hmm.
growing, then I'm being patient. But if the
Hmm.
relationship is stagnant, or I just keep giving and giving and giving, then I'm being taken advantage of.
Do you have an example?
I don't. No one takes advantage of me.
Well, even at work, sometimes I'm doing things for people and it's just like a cycle. I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Be patient with me.
I'll be patient with you. Don't take advantage of me.
Yeah, but being patient, knowing that there's a means to the end versus I lost it. Going to work and just doing the same thing over and over again.
Sure.
It gets boring. Tell you the truth, it feels like I'm stagnating,
Being stagnant.
being stagnant. Yeah, yeah, because there's no growth. There's no way up. I'm just going to work just to sit at a computer and push a button and help other people push their buttons.
So it's funny you just said that, and this is good for our client and for the listeners here. Go back to your marriage
Hmm.
before it ended. Was it stagnant?
It was getting there. Yeah,
Mine was
I would.
stagnant.
Yeah.
Would I have called it stagnant? No, I could sense that we had some issues. I knew something was wrong, and I fought to the best of my ability to save what I could. But
Hmm.
what I was doing was what every guy does right before divorce. I was doing the dishes, doing the laundry, taking care of the kid, but I was not listening. I was not hearing. So yeah, my relationship was absolutely stagnant. In fact, it was pretty much dead.
Mm.
So yeah, if there's no growth and it's stagnant, then you are being taken advantage of.
So you kind of really have to trust yourself
Absolutely.
to be patient.
Yes.
What is something else that you say, hey, I'm being patient? I had to mature, tell you the truth, because I didn't have patience as a kid.
I couldn't tell you if I did or not. Maybe my mother will chime in and tell me. I probably did not.
Yeah. Um, so we have another question for the listeners. Choose one area this week where you practice patience over expectation. Oh, we didn't even go over expectation yet.
What about it?
We're at number 7. When we're asking somebody to choose an area where your patience over what expectation is, can you give a listener why patience and expectation don't work together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could not have given you an explanation or an answer to that 5 or 6 years ago, but I have little or no expectation from anyone or anything because it's a letdown. Unless even with you, like if I ask you to do something, even today, with making that picture, you had forgotten. But if I had
Yep.
expected that it was done, I would have been let down.
Mm.
So I try to have little or no expectations, and I adjust as needed in the situation. Does that make sense?
Hmm. As you said that, the biggest word above your head and above my head,
Expect.
yes.
Well, so you can have, all right, let me rephrase that, because you can have expectations for yourself, because that
Yes.
you are the only person that is required to meet that or not meet that. So if you're going to fail yourself, that's not the best idea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, expect to self-rescue.
Yeah.
So yes, don't count on anyone to come save you. Do what you can to save yourself. And when the cavalry shows up, it's less work for them and you're saved.
Yeah.
If they never show up, you can keep saving yourself.
And your mom just called you out. You were not patient as a kid.
She said kids in general are not patient. Not me.
She had a couple of you, so yeah, she'll
4 of
probably
us.
know. Yeah.
I was the most patient one of all of us. And the smartest and the best looking.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Enough about me.
All right. You know where we are?
Yeah, we're at the end.
Yes. Yes. We're
That
at
we
the
are.
call to action, which is going to be make sure you subscribe on our website, Northman Coaching, and share with somebody who might want to hear about this topic. And if you really liked it, leave a review. And you were going to talk about the reviews.
Yeah, so with the reviews, like leave an honest review. I don't care if you give us a 1 or a 5. I love a review and put in the review what you thought of the show and forget my feelings. I don't have them. If you hurt them, they're not there. I want to know so if we take these reviews and see them, we know if we're doing well, if we need to get better at something. So honest reviews, whether it's a 1 or a 5, we'll take all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
before we wrap
even
it up,
on, yeah.
I want to let everybody know that next Tuesday, our next live podcast will be our 52nd episode. So that's 1 full year of being consistent with doing the podcast, and it's going to be a big one. So we're going to have some stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff. So we still got to kind of work that one out a little bit, but there'll be a lot. It'll be a big one.
Yeah. That will be, wait, what date will that be?
The 22nd. I think that's your girlfriend's birthday.
Is that the 22nd?
Yeah.
No, I mean, not her birthday, but I thought that was the 9th. The 6th.
6. What? Next week.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Doggone, man, time flies. Holy crap. All right. So, and that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for hanging out with us today on Living by Oak Values. And if you love what you heard, hit the subscribe button and stick around for more inspiring conversations. If you got thoughts or want to dive deeper, share your story and snag a free session at northmancoaching.com. Oh, and if you got a story you worth sharing, reach out. Be a guest on the show. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Join us again next week and listen to it again on Friday for another inspiring episode. And keep embracing your values and stay authentic. We've changed that somehow. Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, guys.
Have a great. Now let me figure out how to stop this.